Hi, I'm Veronica. Coming up, we go on a Victorian cemetery tour. Cruise Lake St. Clair with a stop in the quaint town of New Baltimore, and then we tour the recently renovated Detroit Historical Museum, so stay tuned.
Production funding for this program was made possible by the Detroit Metro Convention and Visitors Bureau, driving tourism growth in Metro Detroit since 1896. More information is available at visitdetroit.com.
If you're looking for a really unique tour, then we've got just the thing for you. It's here in Mount Clemens, and it's the Crocker House Museum Cemetery Walk. Now, the day starts out with a funeral tea, then you head over to the Crocker House Museum, you get to tour an actual wake there, then you end up here at the Clinton Grove Cemetery, where they've got actors portraying the dearly departed. Now, this is not a scary event, it's simply a fascinating one. So Kim, explain to me, this is a really unique concept, a cemetery walk.
It is, perhaps it sounds strange, but you wouldn't believe the response we have to this. And why? Because it's the most fun you could ever have of learning local history. It's brought to life.
So the tour starts out with a funeral tea?
Yep, the funeral tea, all the foods are reminiscent of food served at wakes of various cultures.
So then after the funeral tea, the first stop is the Crocker House Museum?
Yep, you'd come to the Crocker House. The Crocker House is set for a wake to the 1880s. So you walk in the door, it looks like a house of that era, what you would expect for a wake. From the Crocker House Museum, they go to the cemetery with a guide.
What's the cemetery where they go to?
The cemetery is Clinton Grove Cemetery. And we do encourage families to bring their kids because it takes the fear out of the cemetery. And it really shows them that the cemetery is a place of history, it's a place of art. I really think it's a good experience for kids.
Now, the first part of the cemetery walk is optional, but if you opt for it, it includes a funeral tea, which is served here at the Presbyterian Church, just down the road from the Crocker House Museum.
This was your invitation to a wake. It's a molasses caraway biscuit. It has the initial of the deceased inscribed into it, and the dark grapes were favored because of the purple color. And this is one of the colors of mourning. So this is an 1860s dress here, solid black. This fabric, the panels on it is called crepe. It's a crinkled silk. And this was referred to as the fabric of woe.
So after the funeral tea, the first stop is the Crocker House Museum, and we are going to head inside and listen to Kim talk about some of the Victorian era wake customs.
You're in the formal parlor now, and the formal parlor is set as you would have seen it in the 1880s, really in most of the Victorian era, even well after the turn of the century, when funerals were done in the home. This I replicated from an actual obituary from the 1860s. Sending flowers, you were doing a favor to mask odor. This also represented their belief in the afterlife.
So even the dollhouse is decorated like for a wake?
In mourning, absolutely. They would have the wreath on the front door and the bunting all around the home, and there is a little coffin inside because they are having a wake.
Just coming here for a visit any time of the year, you can see they've really paid attention to detail in recreating a house from the late 1800s. And as part of the tour, you also can come downstairs and get some cider and donuts. I'm going to enjoy this before I head out to the cemetery. Roxy, we've taken the bus from the Crocker House Museum. We've ended up here at the Clinton Grove Cemetery. Now what happens?
Well, then we take the group and we go to several different stations, and at each plot, the dead people come alive.
Wow.
And they speak, and they tell us all about themselves and about Mount Clemens and about the area and what happened in their lives, and it is so interesting. You learn so much. I mean, I've learned so much about the Bath City.
Hi, I was Chief Michael Smith, and this was our 1923 Orange Fox fire engine.
I'm George Crocker from the Crocker House, and these are my 3 wives.
Yes, I'm Cecilia Tarleton Crocker. I'm Harriet Steele Crocker.
And I'm Catherine Lee Dickinson Crocker.
We've got a Frenchman here who became a village trustee of Mount Clemens. Oui, oui, here he goes.
Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour.
Bonjour!
My name is Charles Mosier. As you may have surmised, I was born in France, moved to Mount Clemens. Then in 1859, I became a village trustee. In January of 1865, the Mount Clemens Salt Company was formed, and I bought 5% of the company stock.
So here we are with the sheriff of Mount Clemens. I heard he was pretty corrupt, but we're about to hear his story right now.
A drop of water would make you feel better. I'd like to welcome you all here. Good afternoon. How many of you folks are from Macomb County here? Well, that's more than it was back when I was sheriff in 1921 and 22. Thousands and thousands of people came here to stay in the dozens and dozens of boarding houses. Imagine a 500-room hotel right here in Mount Clemens. I believe that you need to be accommodating. You want these paying guests to stay here and spend a lot of money, you have to provide for them. And I figure if you relax the law just a little bit, as long as no one gets hurt, everybody wins.
So remember, the Crocker House Museum Cemetery Walk only happens once a year. It's the first Saturday of every October. Reservations fill up quick, and it's definitely something to mark your calendars for. Macomb County is home to the heart of the Great Lakes, Lake St. Clair. It has 31 miles of coastline, and it's dotted with all kinds of great little nautical towns along the way. And it's a great lake to play in, so come on board with me. So ahoy from Lake St. Clair, out here cruising the beautiful lake, enjoying this wonderful day. So much fun. The coastline along here is dotted with cities that are all, it's just like a big boating atmosphere out here, right? It's like a lifestyle.
Absolutely. There's a whole lifestyle that people that have never experienced it in Detroit area wouldn't even know it exists.
Yeah.
It has the highest amount of registered boaters of anywhere in the country. Besides that, there's other activities like sailboating, windsurfing, the kiteboarding where they have the big pontoons, and this is considered one of the best fishing lakes anywhere in North America. It's #1 for muskie fishing. It's just proclaimed as the best fishing lake on earth by the most awarded bass tournament fisherman, Kevin Van Dam.
Now, we're out here on a weekday, but I understand it's a different story on the weekends and in the summertime. It's just the place to be.
Well, just in Macomb County alone, there's over 60 active marinas. We have 15 boat launches along Lake St. Clair, the American side. There's everything for family activities to there's a lot of islands to explore, a lot of locations. The lighthouses have been restored.
If you don't own your own boat and you want to come out here and experience the lake, you can charter boats.
Oh yeah.
There's places all along the coastline,
There's places all along the coastline where you can charter boats, and we call it our own Great Lake.
Our own Great Lake, yes. I would say it's right here in Metro Detroit and Macomb County.
In our backyard.
The This is like a limo that we're on.
The boat we're on now is from H2O Limos, which, you know, it's a boat for hire. So you can rent the boat or you can rent it with the captain. And we'll take you out anywhere in the lake you want to go. If you want to go swimming for the day, go out swimming. You just want to go downtown to a Tigers game, we can do that. We have a lot of different options with that. If you're having a birthday party, anniversary, family outing, whatever, there's lots of boats to rent out here on this lake.
So one of the great little coastal communities on Lake St. Clair is New Baltimore. They've got this beautiful main street. It's dotted with shops and eateries, and of course it all leads right up to the beach in Lake St. Clair.
We want to make this the destination. That we want this to be the place to come to. We're looking at canoe and kayak and paddleboard rentals coming into town for the spring. We're putting in 20 boat docks down here on the water. We're just on the move.
So this leads then to a public beach?
This leads down to the public beach. We have a city park down here. There's an outside pavilion, there's a closed pavilion, there's playscapes.
It's kind of what you think of like when you go up north to those other towns that dot the lakes. I mean, it's right here, but it's in Macomb County.
Just a fun place to come to.
Hey, I'm going to go into all these little places you were
Absolutely,
talking
I
about.
wish you would. I think you'll be very impressed.
Oh yeah, I'm going on a tour. Come with me.
All right.
This looks like a cute shop. So this is Celtic Sisters Candle and Candy Shop, and look at this display. Isn't this just the kind of candy display you would expect in a store like this? And all the candles they have for display here, all made in Michigan. Oh, and my favorite, a little bit of vino. Come on. Oh my goodness, this place is so warm and welcoming. The ceiling is a gorgeous tin ceiling. They've got brick wall in the back, and of course all the wine and all the accessories. It smells wonderful in here. You back here making wine, drinking wine, toasting to the making of wine, or what?
We are toasting to the making of wine.
Toasting to the making of
Washington
wine.
Street Winehouse.
Yes, absolutely.
You're here.
And of course, what's a coastal town without an ice cream shop? But this one's also a bakery. It's Stahl Bakery. Let's go in. Smell the goodness out on the street.
In the 1970s, some of the bakers invented by accident the belly button cookie.
So what's in the belly button cookie?
It's butter, walnuts, and chocolate. And I call it ugly. My doctor calls it decadent. And
That was the best mistake I've ever had. That is wonderful.
Welcome to the historic Grand Pacific House in downtown New Baltimore. We hope you enjoy your stay here in New Baltimore and enjoy visiting our former hotel.
So Mark, it looks like Little Camille's is one of like the happening restaurants in New Baltimore.
Yes, we're so happy to be down here in downtown New Baltimore. There's so much going on down here, and there's more coming.
What kind of food does Little Camille's, what kind of food do you serve up?
Little Camille's is all about fresh product. We make our own bread, we make our own hamburger buns, we use fresh ground beef for our burgers. We make everything from scratch, and our goal is to make great food, great price, and great service. Our patrons come out, especially this time of year. It's comfortable to be outside eating and dining, and it's been great. We've been so happy with the response from everybody.
And what I really like is you come out here, you turn around, and there's the water
There
right
it is.
there.
It's
Awesome.
right there.
Look at the people out here on a fall day.
I'll tell you, it's a great little waterfront town here that a lot of people don't really know or understand or have an appreciation for until you've been here. And if you've been here, I tell you what, you want to come back.
Yes.
Great opportunities out here for paddling, canoeing, fishing. Lake St. Clair is where it's at. this lake is the busiest freshwater lake in the entire country, especially during the summer months, is because it's shallow, it's a basin, a lot of fishing goes on over here, a lot of boating activity, a lot of restaurants, a lot of places for people to go to. So this is where most of the boats and most of the marinas are on Lake St. Clair.
You paddle, you get out there and it's like walking on water, I understand.
I water ski, I canoe, I
You take
kayak,
full
I
advantage
paddle,
of the
but
lake.
again, this year I really got into the stand-up paddleboarding, and it is absolutely a lot of fun. And I can't get enough of it. I'm out on here, even the rivers, the Clinton River, closer to Harrison Township area. So you find that this has become the new crave, but also a great way to get a suntan.
Yeah. This is my first time trying this. I'm going to go out on the paddle boat. And I'm told it's like walking on water and I'm not going to fall, right?
She's actually doing pretty good for a first timer. I mean, with these waves the way they are, this is not normal for people to start on. They usually want to start where it's really smooth, but I tell you what, I give her a lot of credit, especially when she went sideways. When those waves are coming at you, that's the time, if you're new, you're going to fall, that's when you're going to fall. Good for her.
Oh my goodness! Okay, I was told it was a little rough conditions to learn and my legs were a little shaky, but I can see how it could really be a fun and addictive once you get it down pat. Woo! High five! That was fun!
You rocked it. You rocked it.
Well, I've earned my sea legs today out on Lake St. Clair. Did a little paddle boarding. Now I'm back downtown at Little Camille's and I'm about to enjoy some fresh homemade food, a good glass of wine, and I'd say it's a perfect ending to a perfect day. There are plenty of things to see and do in Metro Detroit this month, and our calendar of events is up next to point you in the right direction. Head to Shane Park for the funky and unique Universe Soul Circus, and Plymouth welcomes autumn with their Fall Festival. Visit downtown Rochester's Art and Apples Festival and enjoy food, music, and more at Dally in the Alley. Northville's Victorian Festival revives the romance of the 1800s, and WWE broadcasts their Night of Champions from the Joe. Catch Detroit's creative side around town at the Design Festival and see the Outdoor Boat Festival at Lake St. Clair Metro Park. Detroit Restaurant Week offers discount dining, and the Family Reunion Planning Seminar offers free help. Keep your bikes out for the Tour Detroit ride, then cruise with Old Blue Eyes aboard the Ovation Yacht. Learn about astronomy and go stargazing at the beach, and CMA Entertainer of the Year performs at the Palace. To learn of any changes, log on to visitdetroit.com or call 1-800-DETROIT. Wow, look at this. After being closed down for renovations, the Detroit Historical Museum has reopened its doors in a big, grand way. They've got 5 brand new exhibits, and don't worry, your favorites are still here. They've just been enhanced with a facelift. Open spaces, great for parties, baby showers, you name it. So let's go take a look.
The thing that's really so compelling is that it looks like a brand new place, and we've been here for decades.
Yeah.
Right now we're standing in the Alice C. Gallery of Culture, which looks at Detroit over the last 100 years. And not a series of dates and boring things, but what were the big stories that really make Detroit, Detroit? We look at things like music, architecture, design, things that people really connect with.
And I love these larger-than-life photos that you've got.
Right.
It's a perfect frame for the room.
It is, and what we did is we took special care to highlight the buildings of Detroit that were built in that particular era.
This is something totally new too, correct, behind us?
Well, it is, you know, and if you ask someone, Detroit Historical Museum, Kid Rock, how does that go together? Well, you know, it's called the Kid Rock Music Lab, and it's called that because of a generous donation from Kid Rock. But what it is, it's the story of Detroit music for the past 100 years.
So let's check out the Kid Rock Music Lab.
Let's go. And what we tell in here is the story of Detroit music. We look at some of the artists that many of us remember, from Aretha Franklin to Bob Seger to Madonna to Derek May of techno fame. We also look at some of the venues that really made Detroit really a heart of music in America. Baker's Keyboard Lounge, the Grandy Ballroom, the Rooster Tail. Great artifacts. Those 2 keyboards on the stage there, one is Earl Van Dyke's, who played with the Funk Brothers from Motown, and the other is an organ used in the Greystone Ballroom. Really significant historic significance. And over here we have Detroit Music Trivia. It's really very fun. And let's see how you do.
So,
Which Detroiter was the first?
Oh my. Donna maybe? No, Aretha Franklin.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Queen of Soul.
This gives you an opportunity to mix your own music. You can choose a song and determine how you want it to sound. You can add electric guitar, drums. You can add bass, acoustic guitar. It's a lot of fun to do some creativity.
Where are we now?
We're in the brand new Gallery of Innovation, and this Gallery of Innovation is very different in that it focuses on people, and people in the past and people that are with us still today who are innovating in new and different ways in Detroit. The goal here is to learn a little bit about innovation, but also to inspire kids and families and others to be innovative. And one of the ways we do that is with our Innovation Station, which is a very interesting interactive game that we developed especially for this new exhibit. And it allows you to do one of two things. You can create your next favorite flavor of Faygo Pop, or you can design the next car. Let's do a car.
Car.
Okay.
Oh, and then it's projecting up on the
Projecting
big.
up there.
Oh, that's neat.
We want to build a car for $300 or less.
Okay.
And let's choose a power source. Choose gas. Okay.
Run it for under 300.
Now press drive. Let's see how it goes. Here it comes. Sorry about that.
Well, Bob, I want to thank you so much for showing me what's new, and I'm going to take a look at some of the other things that we didn't get to together.
Well, I appreciate you being here, and I know once you do that, you're going to want to come back with your friends and family because there's so much more than the surface treatment that we're able to give today.
Oh, I already want to bring my kids back. Are you
Great.
kidding? That's great. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
So this area also takes you back to another era because we are in the Detroit Historical Museum after all. We've got an old-time radio here. You can hit it to hear different radio programs from the arsenal of democracy back in the 40s, the time. Look at, and going through here, we've got all kinds of things, you know, from World War II, the roles women played. The rivets in here, these are what were required to build one B-24 bomber, just one. Look at that. Another brand new exhibit is the Doorway to Freedom. It recreates the Underground Railroad experience. And I think it's really best if you just kind of follow me and walk through. If you're quiet, stop and read about what the slaves had to endure. Stay down. The river. And finally, freedom. Free at last. Well, there are a couple exhibits that visitors wouldn't dare let the Historical Museum get rid of. One, of course, being the Glancy train exhibit, but it got a makeover too. It's now got high-def monitors back there for the train coming around. They've added some new accessories. There's the tire that's along I-94, and if you look, I'm sure you'll find many new things. Couldn't touch this. And of course, another favorite, the streets of Old Detroit. They're still here, but they've done lots of neat things. It's went high-tech too. If you come over here, they've got this really cool exhibit. You kind of slide along. It ties in with all the different storefronts, like the pharmacy right here behind us. You can slide over to this, touch it, find out some more information in depth. And of course, the neatest thing is that they've got the doors open. You can go inside the places, the storefronts now. And no more window shopping. Now you can actually come into the stores. You can't touch anything because we want to keep it and preserve it, but you can look at all these things instead of just from the window. So as you walk along, each different area has its own information station. So there are 3 of those. And then another really nice feature is make it handicap friendly and stroller friendly. And of course, the piece de resistance, a new storefront, the Sanders collection, and you can go inside. So we've given you 5 more reasons to visit the Detroit Historical Museum. And don't forget, it's free admission. That's free for all the time.
truly believe what it's like in the D. It's all happening here, right here in the D. There's something you need to hear about Detroit City. You just gotta be here to truly believe what it's like in the D. It's all happening here, what it's like in the D. It's all happening here, what it's like in the D. It's all happening here, what it's like in the D.
Well, that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Veronica Vance. And remember, if you'd like more information on any of the places we visited, log on to visitdetroit.com. So until I see you next time, go out and explore on your own and discover the D. To learn about discounts and special offers for featured attractions, plus how to get copies of Visit Detroit magazine, click on visitdetroit.com.
Production funding for this program was made possible by the Detroit Metro Convention and Visitors Bureau, driving tourism growth in Metro Detroit since 1896. More information is available at visitdetroit.com.